For Hindi videos, you can now subscribe to my personal channel Amit Chhangani. For over 13 years, Motoroids has been delivering in-depth videos covering every single detail about products minus any unnecessary nonsense or drama. You can promote quality content by subscribing to Motoroids, adding Motoroids in your searches and by sharing our content with your like-minded friends. हिंदी बोलने वाले मेरे प्यारे दोस्तों, हिंदी वीडियोस के लिए अब आप मुझे मेरे पर्सनल चैनल अमित छंगानी पे फॉलो कर सकते हैं. लिंक इन डिस्क्रिप्शन. तो चलिए मिलते हैं वहां. This is the new Audi Q3, the second gen Audi Q3, which has been around in the international market for quite some time, but has come to India after some hiatus. But in its new avatar, this car has grown in size and features things which really make it the most balanced, compact, premium SUV in the market right now, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. Let's take a look at the dimensions first. And this car has grown everywhere in terms of width, in terms of its length, in terms of its wheelbase, although the height is a little shorter. But if you compare it with its rivals, it stands tall. It is wider than most cars, save for the BMW X1. It is the longest and the wheelbase is shorter only than the GLA. So in all, it measures up very well with its competition, and as I'm going to tell you in a little bit, it gets the most amount of room in the boot as well as in the back seat. Let's talk about the design as well. It gets LED front lighting, LED blinkers, LED DRLs, and the DRLs here are in this beautiful arrowhead shape. The headlight design is slimmer. The grille is now bigger. The octagonal single frame grille looks more premium, more muscular, and you also have this nice interplay of black and satin silver. It also gets these vertical slats, and overall the front looks a little more muscular than before. It also gets these 4 air vents up front, although a 360-degree camera has been given a miss. Though you have front parking sensors coming towards the side, you have these 18-inch wheels. I think the design could have been a little bit better. They're shod with 235 section Michelin rubber. The ground clearance has not been specified to us, but I think it's about 200 mm and it seems more than sufficient to me. Now you have a very nice roof line. You have a panoramic sunroof, shark fin antenna, satin silver roof rails, and in profile the biggest change that you'll notice is that while the previous version was very clean, this one here has these pronounced lines here and here, and the haunches are much stronger, giving it a more muscular stance. It looks more muscular, more SUV-ish and stronger. So in that sense, it looks a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. And adding to the sporty form is this elongated roof spoiler, which looks rather nice. At the rear, you have this camera, the 40 TFSI badging, quattro badging. This is very important because this is the only car in its segment which comes with all-wheel drive, and I think it's a very important feature that gets left out, doesn't get much talked about, but it really endows this car with great handling and some capability to go off the road as well. It also gets these 4 exhaust outlets, but as I mentioned, there are 4. The real exhaust is hidden underneath, but more importantly, it gets this feature where it has a powered tailgate. And even more important is the fact that this boot here is the most voluminous of all the cars in the segment. It's a massive 530 liters of boot space, which is quite huge for a small SUV in my personal opinion. And what really adds to that functionality is that the rear seats are 40-20-40 split, so it gives you a lot of flexibility. But that's not all. These seats are also adjustable. So what you can do is you can move them forward, all 3 of them, to further extend the storage to 675 liters. That's a lot of boot space for a small car like this. And if you tumble down the seats, that storage will go up to 1525. That's class leading and by a long shot. Underneath, unfortunately, you don't get a full-size spare, you get a space saver. And I always want my car to come with a full-size spare, but this one does not. Now for even more flexibility within the boot, you have these hooks, this net to stop things from tumbling around. A 12-volt power socket sits right here, and you also have illumination here. So in terms of practicality, the Audi Q3 really scores big, and in my books, for a small SUV, that's very important, and that really gives it a huge advantage. Let's get inside and see now how good or bad is the interior. Now before we get in, you have to have a look at this key. Earlier you had to take the key out. Yes, you heard it right, even in an Audi, but now it comes with comfort access key, which means that you don't have to take the key out. You don't even have to press any buttons here. Just yank the door and it'll open. Now what I really like about this door panel is the fact that all of these materials are soft to touch except for this lower part. This is soft to touch, this is soft to touch, this is soft to touch, and I really love the geometric shapes here and the color. You have this satin chrome door pull which looks really nice, this nice indentation. It's quite a unique design. I also like this satin chrome embellishment here with this embedded LED ambient light. Also look at this panel, the geometric shape continues here and it really looks very nice. You have the controls for the electric ORVM, which is also heated by the way, and all the windows are one touch down and up. You also get a very big bottle holder here with some more space to spare and a boot release button here. So far so good, but things only get better once you get seated. The seating height is ideal and you have a fully electric seat both for the driver and the passenger. Not just is the seat electric, it's also a 4-way lumbar adjustable, which is very good, but there is an omission. You don't have any memory settings for the driver, so the driver cannot set a memory, and I think that's a miss. Now let's see what other features we have here. Now the first thing that will strike you when you look at this dashboard is how tastefully it's been done. All the geometric shapes have been carried over onto the dashboard. Also, it's multi-layered. You have this geometric shape here, then you have this part coming out, and then you have this really nice shape to the central screen as well. And this part is done completely in piano black and the screen is almost hidden. So all of this is very nice and very tech heavy. It looks like the most futuristic dashboards of all the cars in the segment. You also get the Audi virtual cockpit, which is a 12.3-inch screen, and this screen also is all new here with 10.1-inch size. The earlier car had a freestanding screen. This one looks much nicer, and this entire part is also tilted towards the driver at 10 degrees so that everything is very easily accessible. This car also comes with a 30 color ambient lighting, which is fantastic. And what I really like is the fact that the AC controls are all physical. It's very important to have some part of the controls which you are going to be accessing very frequently in physical form, and thank God for that. You also have the Audi Drive Select, which offers you many modes: efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic and individual, along with an off-road mode which basically doesn't raise the suspension, but it offers restricted stability in that mode and allows the car to do a little bit more while it's off the road. You also get Audi's phone box with wireless charging and enhanced connection, 2 Type-C USB sockets, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, 2-zone climate control. You also get auto start stop, parking sensors, and you can turn traction control off from here. So all of this is very neatly done, very ergonomic, and this drive selector also is new, looks very nice with this piano black and this satin chrome. I really like it. And then you have these 2 cup holders which are adjustable, an electronic parking brake, 12-volt power socket, and then you have this armrest with a lot of space underneath. So practicality is definitely one of the high points. You have a lot of storage space, and all of this is very ergonomic. The seat is very comfortable, and I really like what I see here. It really makes me feel that I'm sitting in a properly premium German high-tech car. Now the ambient lighting is really impressive here because it's not like an afterthought, and even places like this have been very nicely done, and ambient lighting is inserted here as well. And I really like what Audi have done. They have not taken any half measures, and they have made sure that this cabin really looks very nice. You also get a beautiful panoramic sunroof, and the controls for the blind and the glass are separate, and that's how you control them. This is how far back the glass will go, just to let you know, and it's quite a huge opening. And the lights up front are touch sensitive, auto dimming ORVM, and both the sun visors have a vanity mirror with illumination. Now if you really have to talk about omissions, ventilated seats should have been here. I've already talked about a lack of 360-degree camera, but the other cars in the segment also don't have those features, so nothing really serious to complain about. What I really have to say about all of these cars from the German stable is that all the cars, even from the lower segments, now have ADAS, and it's high time that even these cars feature that tech. Looking at the glove box, it's really nice and velvety, and you also have this little place for a pen and this clip for documents. So it's all nicely done, and it's pretty spacious also, although it's not cooled. The materials are top notch, and this inlay here looks very nice. As I mentioned, this satin chrome really gives it a very premium look. And honestly, with all the tech it has in terms of safety, it comes with 6 airbags. I'm really not complaining. I think that Audi have done a stellar job with the front part of the cabin, but you'll be surprised to see what's there in the back, and time now to go there and see what we have there. Now, just like the front, Audi have not skimmed on quality on the rear door panel as well, and these materials are also soft to touch. Similar geometric designs, I really love it. You have space for a 1 liter water bottle, and as you can see, there is quite some decent knee room and leg room for a compact SUV, and I really think that for 2 passengers it's quite a lot of space for a compact SUV. As you can see, the headroom is also pretty good for people who may be 6 feet or even a little more taller, as the roof is a little scooped out. So in terms of comfort, in terms of thigh support, in terms of the overall shoulder room that you'll have if you're 2 of you traveling, it's pretty good. And an important thing to notice here is that you get this little tray here where you can put your wallet or your cell phone. So this is a nifty little space where you can just pop in whatever you have in your hand. You also have these nets for putting a newspaper or a magazine or what have you. These here AC vents, although you don't have any charging sockets here, which again I think is an omission. What you do have though is this armrest with twin cup holders, which again are adjustable. So that's a nice little touch and adds to your comfort, and you get 3 separate headrests and a proper 3-point seat belt, isofix child seat mounts, and if you really want to, you have some adjustment available for the seat back as well. I wouldn't want to seat a 3rd passenger here because the hump is quite pronounced, but for 2 passengers the back seat is quite comfortable, and the comfort is really enhanced by the fact that it's a quiet cabin, and it's one of the most comfortable suspension systems that I've seen within this class. To mention a few more things, you have this little glass panel here to allow more light to come in. The panoramic sunroof comes quite some distance behind. You have these 2 reading lights here which are button operated, although the door is open right now, so they are not shutting down. Then you have this coat hook here on both the ends, as well as another one here as well at both the ends. In my books then, the Audi Q3's backseat has to be one of the most comfortable within its class, and if you're looking for an all-round SUV where you want to be traveling with your small family as well, this really wins my appreciation. Now to start off, the first thing that makes the Q3 stand apart is the fact that it comes with the quattro, so it can do a little bit of soft roading as well. You can take it off the beaten track, and on the road also the grip from all 4 wheels is fantastic. So the quattro is the big advantage in my personal opinion. The other cars in the segment don't come with any all-wheel drive system, so that really is the big advantage the Q3 has. Apart from that, this petrol unit, the 2.0 TFSI, is fantastic. It's class leading in terms of power and performance. 190 HP of peak power, 320 Newton meters of torque, which is class leading. In terms of power also, it's better than the BMW X1, which has 189 HP. In terms of outright acceleration, this car does 0 to 100 in only 7.3 seconds, while the BMW X1 does it in 7.7 seconds. We don't even need to talk about the GLA here because it's far behind in terms of performance. That car produces only 160 HP and 250 Nm of torque, which is a whole 70 Newton meters lesser than this. And that car takes a big 1.4 seconds more than this car to reach its 100 mark. The top speed of this car is 222 kilometers per hour. Although the BMW has a slight edge in that department with a top speed of 226 kilometers per hour, but a top speed difference of 4 kilometers per hour, where this car actually has better acceleration. Doesn't matter at all. So this 2-liter TFSI is a fantastic engine. The suspension is equally potent. You get McPherson struts up front and a 4-link suspension at the rear, and Audi have done a stellar job of balancing the ride quality and handling. This is one of the nicest handling premium compact SUVs I have driven, and if you want a good balance between driving fun and absorbent ride, this is the car to go for. There's no other car in this segment that offers such a good mix. It's really a practical car, very suitable for our conditions. And it's not just that, the fuel efficiency on this car is also the best in segment. It's 15.28 as per ARAI, and as I have always maintained, this TFSI engine is fantastic. It really does deliver great fuel efficiency, especially when you put the car in one of these modes, which is the eco mode. And if you put it in the efficiency mode, it really does give you very good efficiency. So even if you're not being very conscious about the fuel efficiency, this is going to return 10 to 11 kilometers to the liter in city conditions, and on the highway it can actually return you 15 to 16 kmpl if you're driving with a light right foot. So it's a really good mix of a good engine, this creamy smooth unit which has power all across the rev band. It can really trundle along at very low RPMs, and it revs clean all the way to its red line of 6,250 RPM. Really beautiful engine, fantastic 7-speed transmission. The steering, I believe, could have done with a little bit more weight, but it's precise, especially in the dynamic mode. It does feel very precise. It does have good feedback, although there could have been a little bit more weight to it, but it's very easy to place it on the road, and you can really chuck this car around corners. Of course, it's a practical SUV, so there is a bit of body roll, but with its potent engine and quattro and a beautifully set up suspension, this car can be a ton of fun when you are in the mood. Really the best engine transmission package in this segment, and I just love the way this car drives. Now the important thing to note here is that the Audi Q3 comes only as a petrol car, while the X1 and the C-Class come with diesel variants also. So if you're looking for a diesel option, then this is probably not a choice for you. But when it comes to petrol, it probably is the best that's out there. Now this car is available in two variants, Premium Plus and Technology Pack, and the features. The car has been available in the Indian market since early September, and the prices are I believe even Premium Plus offers quite a bit of kit for the price that it commands. Now, if you look at this segment, there are 3-4 cars, including the XC40 as well. And if you look at all the virtues that all the cars have, it's very clear that this car is not just the most spacious, not just the most flexible. It also comes with all-wheel drive, looks very modern on the inside. And if you're looking for something which is very well-rounded, which can do a bit of everything, I think the Audi Q3 presents itself as one of the strongest contenders in the premium compact SUV segment. So if you are going to make a purchase in this segment, you simply cannot do that until you have test driven this car. Take my word for it, if you want a petrol car in this segment, you don't want to be making your buying decision without test driving this. It really is a standout car in the segment. I really hope that I was able to answer most of your questions about this car in this review. Still, if something has been left out, do put them down in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer your questions. If you liked the video, found it useful, hit that like button, subscribe to Motoroids, and until next time, this is Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.